Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News in Motion. Today is Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. We are here live at 7:25 a.m. Or if you're watching this at the replay, we just want to say thank you for tuning in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime. We just want to say thank you for tuning in general. For our audio and podcast listeners, you know what we do here. We say thank you for turning your dial to Hot 97 News in Motion. Today's show we have for you today is something special because that's happening Tuesday. Today we have Miss Gail with her headline news, but we are also going to be talking about Atlanta. Shout out to all of our viewers out there in the ATL. We also are going to talk about the job market, and we're also going to talk about Rob DeSantis. So I know that's going to be a conversation starter. So make sure that you got your fingers ready for the comments, the questions, all of it. We're also going to have Devontae Goins in here to talk about the People's Party. So with that being said, as I see y'all coming up in the room, you know what we do here. Let's go get some news in motion.
What's up, everyone? It is time for your News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley, and today is Tuesday, June the 6th, 2023. And as Isaiah has already shared, That's Happening Tuesday. I see you, Marion Jackson, rolling up in here. Fred Jones is on YouTube. Adrian's on YouTube. I see Deborah Johnson right here on Facebook. I see Pastor Alex right here on Facebook. Shirley Nicholson on Facebook. Jeff Payne, good morning to you on Facebook. Jeffrey Allen James is also on Facebook. Kim Edmondson is in YouTube. And I see Sardinia also over here in Facebook. That's happening Tuesday, y'all. We have a lot for you. I love the rundown that Isaiah shared. I see my brother coming up in here as well. We have a lot to cover in a short amount of time, but I'm so excited about this news cycle. It is on fire. So let's go ahead and get started. Whether you are tuning in live or watching the replay, thank you so much for spending a little time with us. Some of you saw my post about going into the hospital wearing a mask to visit my mom. The reason I ran out of here, and I want to say thank you to Isaiah yesterday. My mom had surgery yesterday morning. She is doing pretty good. So thank you all for the prayers. But I was trying to juggle both things. I was like, Isaiah, you're going to take it from here. And I understood that he did an amazing job. Also, shout out to Deborah Johnson. If y'all are sleeping at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Monday, you are missing a phenomenal podcast. She is having a movement of bringing writing back. And I mean, it's a movement. People are talking about it. She had a lot of comments over the weekend on a post that she shared on yesterday. There was just a lot. Y'all, you don't want to sleep on her, and you can catch that replay as well. Make sure you purchase her cards. I cannot stress that enough. Y'all purchase her cards. Deborah, please put your link in there how people can purchase your cards. I still have mine too up here. I have several cards from her, but this is a particular card. Y'all, these are custom made cards. So I'm not saying forget the other people in those retail stores, but don't sleep on someone like a Deborah Johnson, who's not only customizing cards, she is also teaching on writing, and she's changing the paradigm, y'all. She's changing the paradigm. All right, let's get to the news. Thank you, Kim Edmondson. Thank you. Let's get to the news, y'all. Mike Pence, we've been waiting, and he's done it. Mike Pence filed paperwork for the 2024 presidential bid. He filed his paperwork on yesterday, declaring his campaign for president and to run in 2024. So there's that. Robert Kennedy Jr., who is now running as a Democrat, promoted misinformation on Twitter, y'all, during a conversation with the only Elon Musk. The crazy thing is, y'all, Robert Kennedy Jr., his poll numbers are surprisingly high. So we have that. You wondering why we do what we do right here on News in Motion, because we want to bring you this type of information. So Here's a question. Do you want to support someone who's going to give you misinformation, knowingly giving you misinformation? If so, why? Have we missed the connection of what election is all about? And some of you have been wondering why we are talking about the 24 election now. Well, here's why. There's a lot we need to unpack, and it's going to take us some time. I see you, Robert Holman and Hester and Stephanie Burbridge Hall and Regina Short. Good morning to you. Y'all, Mother Jones and the New York Times is reporting no labels. You've heard me talk about no labels right here on News in Motion. They have Senator Joe Manchin on the top of their list. Yeah, he's the one that would call a conservative, what we call a conservative Democrat from West Virginia. He said on Fox News on Sunday that he has not ruled out anything. He has not ruled anything in, and he has not ruled anything out. That's his direct quote. And I was like, so you're running? Like, help me understand this. So in May, the New York Times reported that the centrist nonpartisan group, No Labels, they're more like a moderate, a centrist group, is seeking to put a third party candidate on the ballot in 2024. And Joe Manchin is reportedly at the top of their list. Now, Joe Manchin said himself that No Label, and this is a direct quote, No Labels have been moving and pushing very hard what one would call a centrist middle, making common sense decisions. Now, let me say this. I don't think he's wrong with that statement. I know for myself, and I know many of you have indicated that you want the politicians to do their jobs. You want them to respond based upon their constituents and the needs and the demographics of their area. So I don't disagree with him here, but let me keep reading his quote. He also says that people that basically expect us to do, people expect, start that all over again, the quote. People basically expect us to do our job and not put the political party ahead of the policy in our great country. That's what we've seen happening over the recent days. I would say years of that. And then he goes on to say in his quote, and there's more noise and more extremism coming from the far left and the far right. Again, y'all, he's not wrong. So we have to step back and say, what do we really want in a candidate and who do we want to put up? So you have No Labels wanting to put up Joe Manchin. So already we have, I believe, 8 now on the GOP side. I believe there's 4 currently on the Democrat side. And then we have in the middle, the centrist, the third party, Joe Manchin with No Labels. And if you want to learn more about No Labels, you can go to www.nolabels.org. Again, that's www.nolabels.org to find out their mission. But then we also have a fourth party. It's a brand new party. It's called the People's Party. And on yesterday on Twitter, Professor activist Cornel West announced his bid for president. He says during his Twitter announcement, I am running for truth and justice as a presidential candidate for the People's Party to reintroduce America to the best of itself, fighting to end poverty, mass incarceration, ending wars, and something collapse. I think that word is wrong. And he says guaranteeing housing, healthcare, education, and living wages for all. Then he's calling people to join the movement. And then he has his website, which y'all can check it out, www.cornelwest24.com. Again, that's www.cornelwest24.com to learn more. We also have the Washington Post, who talks about scholar and activist Cornel West on Monday announced that he is running for president under the banner of the People's Party, casting his minor party bid as a part of a quest for truth and justice. He goes on to say, through the Washington Post, the People's Party billed itself as a major new independent party that will guarantee healthcare, housing, quality education, and peace to all. And Kim Edmondson, I knew Kim Edmondson was going to come out and say something like that. I'm quoting Kim Edmondson. She is saying Cornel West is loony. Well, there's that. And he's 70 years old. He put that out there as well. Now, if you want to learn more about the People's Party, you can go to www.peoplesparty.org. Now, I want to go back to where it says the People's Party builds itself as a major new independent party that will guarantee healthcare, housing, quality education, and peace to all. Now, that may sound good, but come on, we got to give it right here on News in Motion. That may sound good, but you have to pass these bills through Congress, through the House and the Senate. So you just can't put this out here and say that you're going to guarantee these things. Not unless you're just going to sign executive orders one after another. And I don't know about you, that goes back to dictatorship and someone who's expressing their authority. So we want to be mindful of that. So we're going to bring to you information on how to vet some of these conversations and what to look for. And with that, we have more on the story. We're going to bring in Devontae Goings of Unbossed Columbus. So come on in here, Devontae. Let's talk real quick. Can you tell us what's going on, Devontae, with the People's Party?
Yes, I can a little bit. I thought it was funny what Kim Evanson just said. Cornell's a little bit loony. That is hilarious. I'm partway in the middle. But the People's Party actually has been around since the 1890s, actually. So it's a left-wing party that dates all the way back over 100 years. And so when Cornell West made his announcement yesterday, we all are no stranger to Cornell. And in fact, myself, I'm not. I actually had the opportunity at Wittenberg to study under one of his former TAs from Howard and Harvard University. And so I made a couple phone calls to not only this gentleman, but to a few other people. And some of my sources tell me that Cornell, Gail, has been talking about and leaning into running for more than 5 years now. And now he's finally pulled the banner to do it. But in his campaign announcement, I think that he's going to be not only giving President Joe Biden a run, but he's also going to be giving Marianne Williamson a run too, because as we all know about Cornell, he comes from a perspective of evoking radical love. And if you paid any attention in the last election cycle to Marianne Williamson, she talks a lot about love too, but Cornell West does it in a different type of way. Let's talk about it. Cornell West, he was a big supporter back in 2008 of President Barack Obama, and then leading into, as he got further into his election, Cornell West became one of President Obama's biggest critics out there. One of the things to note in this campaign announcement by Cornell West, he talked about how he cares specifically about people's quality of life. He talked about ending wars. He talked about, in particular, to go back to him not being one of President Obama's biggest critics. He blasted him and he called him out back in 2011, Gail, and I quote, "a black mascot of Wall Street oligarchs and a black muppet of corporate plutocrats," unquote. So, Gail, this is the year or the election cycle of the third party candidate. And let's just say it's only June of 2023. We have almost 15 months to go in this election cycle, and it is only just now heating up. So who's going to run next? I don't know.
So crazy, so crazy. It's interesting that you called out the fact, Devontae, that it's been around since I forgot the exact number you gave. And when I was
1890.
1890. When I was looking at some research, I noticed that, but it seems as if they have changed the mission a little bit. So would you say one would call this now a new party, like they're indicating, or do you think they're just reviving the party? Can you speak to that?
They're trying to revive the party because one thing about the People's Party is they're only on the ballot in 3 states. So it's uphill battle from here. And that's the most important thing when you're looking at these independent parties is how
Yeah.
many states are they in the ballot on, because that's crucial in turning
Right.
people out to vote. And so if you're only in the ballot in 3 states, can we really take Dr. West seriously, going back to Kim Edmondson and her saying he's a little bit loony? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but what I do have to say is that he's sure to push President Biden more to the left for all of the Bernie
Yeah.
supporters out there.
Yeah, he's going to have that. But then I like what Pastor Alex Williams says too. He said he burned the Obama bridge, which he did do
Yes.
that. And people who love President Biden, oh my gosh, I always put them two names, President Obama, that they won't even give Cornel West any time. Then we also have this division of, and I get it. I think anyone who wants to run for office should run. But I don't
Hmm.
think sometimes we think about how we're to some degree handing over to someone else the presidency or the office because we just are selfish and we're just going to run, not thinking, is this the right strategy? Because you also have, and this is conversation out there again, we have Joe Manchin who's probably coming in under the no labels, and
Hmm.
you also have Kanye West. He's coming back. And people are mad. People are mad at Adidas. So you're going to have that group. And then I was looking at some numbers, which I'll talk about tomorrow. I was looking at numbers of that millennial group who is coming out more and more, and they're starting to register now that we've kicked off this registration thing that actually started in May. We really got started this month of June, News in Motion. So there's a lot of people that are becoming registered voters in that
Hmm.
age group. You have a lot of people a lot of students who are upset with this, not sure what's going to happen with the student loan forgiveness. They're registering because they're mad. So where are they going to go? How are they going to vote? Again, we have 15 months, but it's already on and popping. It's like this is going to
Yes.
be an interesting ride. It's going to
We're
be
going to be
interesting.
here for every bit of it here on News in Motion, and going to love every bit of it too. And actually, what you just brought up about not just registering to vote, but right beforehand, is it really worth all these third-party candidates? Because at the end of the day, the number one goal should be, as you like to say, not to get the orange guy back in office, or not to get the guy down in Florida who's in a fight with Mickey in office either. So is
Right.
it really worth it? I talk a lot about that and a new project I'm working on that the News in Motion family and everybody's going to hear a lot about in the next couple of months.
Yeah. And I do love your I won't put it out there yet, but I do love the project that you're working on. There's so much to do. I love what Kim Edmondson saying. And she says, right now it becomes a free for all with no real strategy. And
Hmm.
this is where I'll get on my soapbox and say we cannot listen to the spin. We cannot pay attention to the hype. We should pay attention, but we need to be able to get through all the weeds to see what's at the root of what's going on. Which I will say this right here on News in Motion, and I'm sure I'll get some hate mail, but it's okay. Um, I'm concerned about the top ticket on both parties, the Republican and the Democratic Party. I'm concerned about the top tickets. I
Hmm.
have to be honest. And then I'm concerned about no labels looking at Joe Manchin. I'm concerned about Cornel West. I'm definitely concerned about Kanye. So it's like, what is going on here? And what can we do? Deborah Johnson says, can we please have one strong candidate? Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Deborah. There has to be somebody out there that's a strong candidate. There has to be. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, and these third and fourth parties, I don't know. I don't know if they're strong. They're strong enough to take votes from the two major parties, but I don't think they're strong enough
But
to actually
it's also not just about taking votes, Gail, but it's also about, can they raise the money?
the money.
Because these
Right,
elections, campaigns via their PACs and the candidates themselves are raising and spending about $1 billion.
right,
And this is just between two candidates. And so,
right,
can they raise the money? That's going to be Dr. West's biggest challenge, whether he's on the ballot in 3 states or in 48. Can he fundamentally raise the money from the
right,
Bernie supporters and from his supporters throughout his time in academia? That's the big challenge. Where's the money? Where's the
right.
money coming from?
Well, and then also, again, how can you guarantee health care, housing, quality education, and peace to all? I don't think you can guarantee that. So
Mhm.
that right there, again, is the messaging. The messaging. Well, thank you so much, Devontae, for this. We can't wait as you continue to unpack this in the coming Tuesdays where you are on sharing in your segment. We are grateful to you and your reporting. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. And we're going to try one of these Tuesdays to get Dr. West and all of the other presidential candidates on here on News in Motion.
It sounds good. It sounds good. Bring them on. Bring them on.
Hey, that's the plan.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right, with everything that's going on, to everyone in Atlanta, as Isaiah mentioned in our intro, we have Cop City in Atlanta happening. Fox 5 Atlanta and HuffPost reports, and this is a direct quote, the Atlanta City Council pushed forward legislation early Tuesday that would help fund a controversial public safety training facility. All right, y'all. Hey, what's up, Amber? What's up, girlfriend? I saw your mama yesterday. Oh, by the way, Jeff, I saw your wife yesterday too. I meant to tell you that. Y'all, the council voted 11-4 in favor of legislation which would allocate an additional $31 million from the 2023 uncommitted general fund budget towards the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. This move, y'all, comes after an enormous turnout at the city council meeting yesterday, in which the community members and organizers vocalized their disapproval of the facility of Cop City. More than 14 hours. So y'all know, y'all heard me say the vote went early Tuesday. We're talking like 12:30 a.m. just a few hours ago, y'all. They voted for this. Now, here's the concerns for this. Here's the concerns. I see you, Karen. Here's the concern. They now want to arrest people if there's a protest, or arrest people even if it's a quiet movement, silent protest. They want to arrest people. They want to have this Cop City and fill the Cop City Training Center up with people that y'all, people came out. It was 14 hours of pushback where people were strongly opposing this and against this. They're saying, we know what's going to happen here. See, here's the problem. Too many Black people in Atlanta, and they're tired of it. I'm going to say what I said. I said what I said. Y'all, the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center will boast at least 85. I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to know where this is going. And I want you to then have an open mind. I want you to use critical thinking and think through what's about to happen. The Atlanta Public Safety Training Center would boast at least 85 acres of land in the South River Forest, an area, here it is, with a complex history that includes at least one plantation, a prison farm, and the violent removal of indigenous people. Boom. Come on, say what I said what I said. Critical thinking, people. So Cop City, Atlanta will be housed on 85 acres of land that had at least one plantation, a prison farm, and violent removal of indigenous people. Y'all, this is how we vote. So Atlanta, I know there's many of you that are tuning in. They're talking about $60 million to build the facility. They only have $31 million of funds. So where's the other 29 coming from? That's how y'all have to think when you vote. And they're saying it's not going to hit the taxpayers. Well, the Atlanta Community Press Collective found that the amount taxpayers may end up paying is more than double the original allocation of taxpayer money due to a provision known as leaseback agreement. Now, critical thinking, right there, you should be asking yourself, well, what is leaseback agreement? So I'm going to connect the dots here, Kim Edmondson, as that's happening Tuesday. Leaseback agreement is what type of lease agreements that are in the area and around Atlanta in this particular demographic. What does your lease agreement say? What does your mortgage agreement say? What about the parameters of your home? Y'all better pull out y'all's papers and start reading, because you could be paying for something that had a plantation on it, that had a prison farm on it, and a violent removal of indigenous people. Make that make sense. Latrice Jones says, isn't this on the mayor of Atlanta who belongs to what political party? Raise the question, Latrice Jones. Raise the question. Yes. Y'all, again, if we would just do our due diligence and stop following the hype of a name and dig into their voting record, it's public, y'all. The moment they file papers, their voting records are public. See how they voted, see how they abstained, see how they just said present and didn't say yes or no behind the platform that they spoke on. Yeah, Kim Edmondson, I'm trying to connect the dots. Marion Jackson says, that was my question. What is the lease back agreement? Yeah, these are the things. When we read, when you hear, I don't care if you're listening to me or any of your local news or any national news, when you hear something, y'all, Google is your friend. Google it. Connect the dots and read more than one article, read more than one press release. Keep digging until you get what you're looking for. Y'all, this is a mess right here. Y'all, it says the agreement will require the city of Atlanta to pay the Atlanta Police Foundation $1.2 million annually to use the training facility, which would end up adding $36 million to the cost throughout the 30-year lease. And that part there came from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. A lot to unpack, a lot. And I'm sharing this with you all because we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention. And if that's not enough for you, let's go further south to Florida. Okay. Y'all, Ron DeSantis has been sending private planes dropping off migrants in Sacramento, California. Yeah. It's like, didn't you learn from the last thing sending people to Martha's Vineyard? What is your point? And he's running for president. Y'all, Miami Herald reveals that the Texas sheriff just recommended criminal charges against those involved in Ron DeSantis tricking migrants to being flown from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard. All by the way of Florida. Florida is at the center of this. I know some of you are saying, but that's San Antonio. San Antonio's in Texas. It's not in Florida. You still got to connect the dots. Who got the plane? Who were the people were behind it? How did they get to where they were going? It all points to Ron DeSantis. Not only is he fighting with Mickey Mouse, he's fighting with migrants and black and brown people everywhere. And y'all can say that's not happening. If you just read for yourself, your eyes will be open. Critical thinking, people, critical thinking. The sheriff announced that the case filed includes both felony and misdemeanor charges of unlawful restraint, which means they unlawfully restrained the migrants, tricked them, put them on a plane, said you're going to someplace nice. And they ended up first in Martha's Vineyards a couple months ago, and then in Sacramento, California, just last month. All right, y'all, the unlawful restraint is considered a misdemeanor unless the victim is younger than 17. In this case, 5 migrants were under the age of 17. We're playing with people's lives. What's happening here? And why will we continue to support someone who's doing these types of things? Y'all heard it here on News in Motion. So he sent a total of 22 Latina Americans, migrants to Sacramento just in the past week, I believe. And it's interesting because I thought, we're gonna have a couple of people running for president in jail. So we're gonna be voting for people that's sitting in a jail cell. What's happening here? And why are we allowing this to happen? Why hasn't anyone called for him in California to be impeached? I'm just asking. And I know you're probably saying, well, because they're carrying the Senate there in California, which is true, but let's talk about it. Let's at least bring it to the forefront. This is what's happening, y'all. We have to pay attention when we're voting. So let's talk about the job market. Y'all can talk about Joe Biden being 80 if you want to, but his administration, y'all, the latest employment report from the Labor Department showed that the country's job market remained red hot with 339,000 jobs added in May. Y'all, this number blew past the expectations considering everything that the economy was facing. The analysts had forecast around 190,000 jobs would be added. They blew it out the water with 339,000. Now, before you say anything, I did my due diligence and looked. we look at April, which was a low of 3.4%, the unemployment rate reached about 3.7. So the unemployment rate went up, but there was 339,000 jobs added, which really offsets the two. So you have that going on as well. Y'all, lots going on, a lot's going on. So when you think about it, you have to look at the entire picture and not just be narrow-minded. You cannot. Do not be a single issue voter. Don't be that person. You know, in the single issue right now, which is the top issue, which I'll talk about it here, people are still on human rights of women's bodies and the ability or not the ability or the law to have an abortion. Yeah, that's called a single issue. I don't care what party you're behind. That's a single issue. You have to look beyond that single issue and look at the entire picture. And I know that's hard for some people, but you have to look at the economy. You have to look at foreign relations. You have to look at healthcare. You have to look at jobs. You have to look at so much more. Inflation. All of that comes, y'all. That's happening Tuesday. I'm trying to give it all to you in the time that we have. All right. USA Today reports in a significant win for the LGBTQ advocates in this Pride Month. A federal judge has tossed out Tennessee's controversial law restricting drag performances after hearing in which the law necessity and broad language were questioned. Judge Thomas Parker issued his ruling late Friday. Believe it or not, this judge was appointed by the Trump administration. Bloomberg also reports, and y'all do what y'all want to with masks. I still wear one at certain times, not all the time, but it's like if I feel something, if I discern something, a mask is going on my face. Bloomberg reports U.S. Regulators revoked emergency authorization for Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine after the company's unit requested it. Yeah. They've informed Food and Drug Administration that shots purchased by the government had expired and there were no more demand for them in the U.S., the regulatory said. In New York City, infections are rising, they said, at unbelievable numbers of COVID. Y'all do what y'all want to. Do what you want to. When I read this, I was like, I'm so glad I didn't get Johnson & Johnson shot. You know, y'all were all into that one shot. I was like, give me two. I don't care. But that one didn't sound right. And it didn't. Y'all, also in the news before we get out of here, a major Hollywood actors union voted to authorize a strike. Like the writers have been striking, the actors want higher wages and are worried about AI. Everybody's worried about AI. There's another open letter from multiple CEOs that are saying they want AI shut down because it's taken too many jobs already, as it's just been introduced to society on a major platform. About 65,000 members cast ballots, or 48% of eligible voters. The actors' current agreement with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which bargains on behalf of the studio, will expire on June 30th. They say that together we lock elbows and in unity we build a new contract that honors our contributions in this remarkable industry, reflects the new digital and streaming business model, and brings all our concerns for protections and benefits into the now. Fran Drescher, y'all remember her, the nanny? The president of the Actors Union said in a statement, that's her point. And y'all, they're saying we all need to be concerned. You know, they're saying, when I was looking at some stuff and I was in one of the journalists' virtual meetings, they were saying any of us who are on any type of digital platform or production studio, our likeness, AI can come in and digitize my face, my voice, my everything, and produce news in motion. And y'all may or may not know that those are one's AI and one's the real person. That's scary. But, you know, we push these things through without thinking about the ramification of what's going to happen. All right, y'all, got one more story and I'm going to the inspirational message. Yeah, Amber, wow. Wow is right. Y'all, Prince Harry, that's my guy. I guess he rode up into the UK again. he's going somewhere that British royals haven't been before in the century. He's going to the courtroom taking a stand. Y'all, the Duke of Sussex is set to testify in the first of 5 pending legal cases, largely centered around battles with the British tabloids. His opening statements were scheduled for yesterday, but he's on the stand today. So let's just pray for his safety first of all. I don't know why. I'm just like, can you do this virtually, dude? Do you have to get on a plane? Are you sure your security's really behind you? Just something, are you sure? Did you sign something to make sure your children, Archie and Lilibet, stays with their mom if something happens to you? Harry, you got to give me some more here. So be safe out there. And speaking of his children, Princess Lilibet turned 2 over the weekend, and the firm has refused to acknowledge that Princess Lilibet has turned 2. Y'all are so petty. Get over it. Seriously. Why would you not want to celebrate a child, regardless of what issues you're having with the royal family? Come on, for real. That's what we do. My inspirational message for today, with all that we have going on, what's your plan? That's the inspirational message title. What's your plan? With everything that we're sharing with you here on News in Motion, what is your plan? What do you plan to do? How do you plan to vote? How do you plan to start looking at and researching? Voting is not just on the day of election or early voting or absentee, submitting an absentee ballot that you're going down just saying eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and picking some names. Yeah, it's research. So what's your plan? You can have ballotpedia.org that has information. Myself and Amber, she's on here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it what it is. We did a phenomenal nonpartisan resource guide that is still available right now. It's free. The digital one is free. Just go to my website, gaildeli.com, and put it in there, or send us an email. Say, can you send it to me? We will send it to you. Y'all, it is free. Start going through that information now. It is very helpful. What is your plan? What is your plan of action for your life, for your business, for your educational pursuits? What is your plan for your family? What's your plan for your investments? What's your financial plan? What's your plan? I'm going to tell you a quick story and then I'm out of here. Last evening, I was going through my running show for today's News in Motion. And not to be conceited or anything, I was like, I don't know if I should do this. Well, I should put it in. Well, what is that going to sound like? And I had to tell myself, it's your show. You're the boss. Do whatever you want to. I could hear you, Kim Edmondson and Amber, in my head. And I was like, what? Why am I questioning what I believe has been my discernment for moving forward? This is where we're going, and this is how we're getting there. This is what I'm going to say. And I may say something different in the heat of the moment, right then and right there. I'm the boss. Y'all, when you have your plan, you have security that comes with that. You have a boldness that comes with that. You have a confidence that comes with that. And for Tuesdays, we've been talking about that's happening Tuesdays. So this is what's happening on Tuesday. Whether there are 10 of you that are watching live, whether there's 1,000 of you that's listening on the podcast, and there are, no matter what it is that's happening right now, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Yeah, if we would just change our mindset, that should be a part of your plan, to have a strategy with what it is that you're doing and how you're going to get there. Hester said, absolutely, be bold. You own it. Amber says, you the boss. Leaders lead. Yes, y'all, she has an amazing women. Listen, and Amber, please put it in here. Amber has an amazing Thrive project. Entrepreneurship. It is off the charts. Y'all, we must stop sleeping on people who are doing phenomenal work just because you're not seeing their name in lights on a major billboard. Y'all, forget them. They're doing their stuff. Okay, that's cool. Y'all better lean in to some of these people who are doing amazing work, and lives are being changed regularly. Make sure y'all follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook. I already told y'all the kind of designer she is. Y'all saw my stuff. That's her. That's the designer of Ready Publication. That's the designer of several of my books. She's the designer, y'all. She's off the chain. Don't sleep on her. She has a Thrive program I want y'all to check out. Amber, please put that link in here. Hester, y'all. Hester's in here. And yep, I'm giving shout outs right now. So y'all just better follow. Hester is she's about to own not one hotel, but multiple hotels. Y'all looking for an investment opportunity? Y'all better put that in there with Hester. Y'all invest in the work that she's doing. Whatever that is, contact Hester one-on-one. Hester, put your information in here. Kim Edmondson, y'all talking about a financial guru, investor. I'm so proud of myself investing. Listen, I done gone into day trading, okay? Because I'm like, what are we afraid of? She builds your confidence, and she's taking you places. She's about to go to a major conference in a couple of weeks. I'm sure Kim Edmondson's going to come back and give us some powerful information. Y'all better start signing up for her. Don't wait until Kim Edmondson is way up here and you're trying to coach with her and she has to say to you, oh, I have a 2-year waiting list. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Who else is on here? Marion Jackson's doing great work in Lorain County in that area. Rosanna, good morning. What's up? Latrice Jones, y'all don't sleep on her either. Y'all, paparazzi is still going big. Go ahead, become a consultant with her. See what it is that she's doing. We have Karen on here is doing great work. We have Deborah. I done already shouted her out in her cards. Y'all better get her customized cards. Seriously, y'all can go to Hallmark if you want to. I say y'all should go to Deborah Johnson. Pastor Alex Williams, he is pastoring. He's doing a great work in ministry and all that he's doing. Make sure y'all are supporting him. Y'all, Devontae Goings, don't y'all sleep on Unboss Columbus. And just because he's in Columbus does not mean that you cannot learn from him. Seriously, you can learn from him and connect with him and say, hey, can we do a partnership? And you have Unboss Columbus and I have Unboss Baltimore. Y'all better pay attention to these things. Y'all, this stuff is out here. Don't sleep on it. Kenny Stanley. Don't sleep on Kenny Stanley. Davia, I didn't see you this morning, girl. What's happening? Davia is in here as I'm going through the list. Y'all, she's doing, listen, she made a post. I don't know if it was last night or this morning. That post spoke to me and it gave me the confidence and the power to say, yeah, I'm living large right now. I'm so free. I am enjoying life. And I get sometimes that negative voice wants to tell me to, when I say stuff like, man, if I would have known what I know today, 20 years ago, I'd be in a different place. That negative voice tries to come in there and I have to shut it down. Nope, you got where you are right now. So celebrate where you are right now and be in that freeness right now. The new photo shoot that I put out there, many of you has commented on the pictures. All of those images show my freedom. Like seriously, freedom. And the enemy keeps trying to pull me back into that trap, into that prison, but I'm not going back there. No, that's unhealthy. Let's talk about Isaiah, y'all. Isaiah is a freelancer. He's doing great work. He's doing some amazing things. Y'all better pour into that man's life. I'm serious. Listen, Amber said, Latrice, I need you. So Latrice, there's that. Davia said, what's Deborah's information? Deborah, if you're still on here, put your information on here. I think you put it on here somewhere earlier, but make sure you put it on here. Hester says, come on board. Let's be hotel owners together. And her email is wealth@bgwllc.org. Check that out. Kim Edmonds says, shut it down. Listen, let me see. I think we do have Deborah's stuff on here. I don't know if Deborah's still on here or not. Let me see if I can find her. Isaiah, if you can find Deborah's information, can you please post it on the screen? Yep, here it is. You can purchase a custom car. Boom, there it is. At DJ Wright, that's WRITE from the heart @gmail.com. Let me know what you are looking for and I will reach out to you. Y'all, let's support these people. I'm in a role today. Listen, let's support each other. That's how we develop our plan. Seriously. And I'll tell y'all this, when I was putting together the voter registration workbook for volunteers, it was so clear my assignment for this season. It's so clear my assignment. So I'm telling you now, News in Motion, we're going to finish out June and then the young people will take over in July. And y'all know we off in August. When we return in September, I'm telling you now, if you don't want to hear about voting and headlines, then this is not the place for you because that's where we're going. That's where we're going. We have a lineup. Oh my gosh. Davonte's already told you, we're going to get these candidates on here. Y'all, we've hit 3 years. And for whatever reason, that's the magic number to people. And so people are now calling us. Can I get on your show? Oh, well, somebody called last week. We had Ohio State Representative Lauren McNally, who was talking about this child labor law and the relaxing of the law. And by the way, y'all, it's still going through. It's getting ready to go to Mike DeWine's desk to be signed. We still have time to write in and say, don't sign that. That's going to open up for human trafficking, for more violence, for sexual harassment and rape to our young people who are going to be working at bars at the age of 14 in the state of Ohio. There's one that's also going in the state of Wisconsin and one also in the state of Iowa. There have been 10 previous states. Y'all, we don't want that for our children. We don't want that. So now that we've had her on here, people are calling us. We saw that. Can I bring my candidate or my rep on? Oh, now we see you've been around for 3 years. Yes, y'all, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. So with all of that, y'all, I know y'all sick of me. Deborah has up here, send me a message. She has it up there. Amber says, you rock. No, girl, you rock. You rock. 3 years and thriving. We are 3 years. There it is, y'all. Latrice Jones, that's her thing up. Her website just popped up. I'll put that up there. Y'all, so much is going on. Today, and I'll try to shout out, so you have to do it quickly because we have podcast listeners. If you have a business, a book, a consulting, put the links in the chat now. I'll stay on a little bit longer to put those up there. I know Isaiah may have to get out of here, but hopefully we can get this up before he leaves. But go ahead and put those up there right now. Devontae has a project he mentioned earlier. I'm helping him with this project. It's going to be phenomenal. Don't sleep on Devontae Goins. I'm telling you, don't sleep on that man. Kenny Stanley, his podcast Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. On all these platforms as well. Y'all go ahead and put your links in here. If you're just tuning in, put them in soon because we're getting ready to shout them out. Let me see. Latrice Jones, we have yours up here already. Let me put that up on the screen. Oh, I'm sorry, Isaiah. Isaiah's like, let me do my job. You're right, Isaiah. I'm trying to cross over. Anybody else? You have time to put your link up here. Let's put it up here. Kim Edmondson, tell us how we can get in touch with you about finances and investment. Put that up here, please. I don't know if Michelle Bowie is on here, but she's doing a great job praying for our marriages. She has been on this since January. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. So if Michelle, if you're on here, put your link on here. There's a lot of people doing some great things. Don't sleep on them. I don't know how else to tell you that, y'all. Don't sleep on them. All right, I don't see y'all putting anything in here. Y'all got 5 seconds to put it up in here for me to shout it out, or we are gone. Adrian, are you still on here? Put your links on here. Shirley Nicholson, I know you a cook, you a chef. Put yours on here. Yep. Yay! That made my day, Davia. Y'all, Tales from the Shaker season 3 is in the works. Yes. I just kept praying for you. I said, I'm not going to ask her anymore. I'm going to just keep praying. That is a missed show for me. I'm so glad you're coming back. Tales from the Shaker. Y'all go ahead to her YouTube right now and subscribe. Davia, put your YouTube on here so we can have it. Go to her YouTube right now and subscribe. Hit the alert so that when the first one hits, you'll be the first one to know about it. That just made my day. It's available on all podcast platforms. So y'all go ahead, download, listen to the previous episodes if you have not already done so. Make sure. Oh, that made my day, Davia. Karen says Karen's Creation year-round door wreaths on her Facebook page. So y'all go to Karen's Creations. That's with a K. Kreations year-round door wreaths. It's on her Facebook page. Deborah said, Tales from the Shaker is fire. It is straight fire. If y'all sleeping on that. And I got to say, Deborah, I asked Davey about it a couple of times. I said, okay, don't be that person to keep bugging somebody. Let her work through. But I was like, that's the bomb. She can't stop. I'm so glad she's putting that back. So excited about that. So y'all, yeah, Karen Creations year-round door wreaths on her Facebook page. Anybody else? Y'all know I don't do this often. Y'all know I do not do this often. All right, y'all. If y'all put some up there and we're gone, I'll pull them over and share them first thing in the morning before Wednesday workshop. Wednesday workshop will be on volunteer voter registration, the workbook that I sent out. We sent out over 100 emails of people who signed up for that all over the U.S. It's not too late to sign up. It's about 5 hours a month. You can help us register voters. With that, y'all, it's been a great morning. I am Gail Dudley. This has been News in Motion. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember to make some bold moves. I'm out.